Blood is not thicker than water. Welcome to today's topic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Coach Tobias Forst, founder of ACHILLES, decade-long recipient of narcissistic abuse, and I've saved myself from it. And I accompany you on your journey to your personal freedom. So the sentence, blood is thicker than water, supposedly, is not only stupid and dumb, it is also, in a literal sense, asocial. And in addition to that, it is also not well thought through. What I mean by that, I will go into detail in the rest of the video. So let's make a comparison between blood versus water within the context of this idiom. To get it out of the way, two things. The physical qualities of blood actually make it thicker than water. But this is not what this idiom is about. Second, why is it not thought through, this sentence, this concept? It is not thought through because it would mean and entail that you should always give preference to your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your children, compared to your spouse. Because you are, hopefully, not related by blood. That out of the way, who says this sentence? Who uses, well, blood is thicker than water? It is being used by narcissists, toxic people, enablers, flying monkeys. Why does someone utter those words? It is usually used as a reaction to a verbal conflict situation, with the goal to entice you, to move you toward yielding or giving in a certain argument. So what are those arguments usually about? Someone other than you engages in fits of rage or manipulation attempts, silent treatment, insults, and sometimes maybe even the out of nowhere escape from discussion, just someone, the toxic person, getting up and leaving without facing what is hopefully in the process of becoming a constructive, not so much emotional discussion. So a question between to you, ladies and gentlemen, how often were you the cause for such a type of discussion? And how often did someone have to have your back toward the recipient of your supposed fit of rage, telling them, with regards to you, well, blood is thicker than water? Probably not that often, ladies and gentlemen, if we're being honest. So, what is the end goal of someone telling you blood is thicker than water? What actions are you supposed to take and or not take? You are supposed to forgive. You're supposed to ignore. You're supposed to tolerate. And in order to avoid a continuation of the discussion, you are supposed to shut up. And with your innate respect toward family and even the most difficult members among them, you have been adhering to this often and for years and years on end. You adhered to the 4 commandments of thick blood. So let's go into the thought experiment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's imagine this. You're at a table with your family, 5, 6, 7 people, and someone's really escalating with a fit of rage again. You know the certain someone. Let's say it's your brother or your sister. And at some point, you just interrupt them and talk to everyone and say, okay, this is again going too far. This is just too excessive. I don't want to hear anything of this. You'll manage with my absence. You'll manage and be fine without me. And you get up and leave. And while you're in the process of leaving, there are bound to be a few words thrown in your direction while your, let's say, non-toxic mother follows you to the door of the house, puts her arm on your shoulder and tries to soothe and appease and calm the situation by saying something along the lines of, you know how your brother is, short-tempered, he's always been like that. Yeah, no kidding, Sherlock, he's always been like that. Or your sister with her emotional outbursts, you know how she is. And in this thought experiment, let's say your response is the following. You know, Mom, I really appreciate this, what you're trying to do here, but I just want to have my peace, tranquility, and quiet, and I expect him or her to accept my decision. You know how I am, Mom. Blood is thicker than water, as they say. End of thought experiment. And within that thought experiment, ladies and gentlemen, your mother acted, probably unknowingly, as an enabler, as a flying monkey for your toxic brother or toxic sister. You've never done this? No surprise there. Because when it comes to the intention of blood is thicker than water, it is always one-sided and to your detriment. So let's dive a little bit deeper, ladies and gentlemen, into the intention behind it. Family is supposedly closer, or is supposed to be closer to you, for you, than friends, colleagues, strangers. Okay? With that in mind, regarding the intention, you start to mentally distribute points to your family members. And with a thought experiment fresh in mind, with the situation with your toxic brother or toxic sister, thinking how she's always been, how he has always been, and today was yet another one of those episodes. You grant them minus 200 points. Then mentally you move on to your best male friend or your best female friend. If you will, your brother of choice or your sister of choice. And you know that they've always been there for you. Also with constructive criticism when some action or non-action of you was not motivated by integrity or was not really thought out or had bad consequences. They are and always have been there for you. Your brother of choice, your sister of choice, plus 500 points. And then it hits you as you're walking down the street, thinking that, distributing points to each and every family member. And you take a look at the stranger at the bistro at the corner, ordering his cappuccino, and compare the points that you just gave to your brother or your sister, the minus 200, and you look back at the stranger thinking, even he starts at plus minus 0. Before we come to the conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I would kindly ask you to sign up to the channel so that other people, thanks to the algorithm, then also find the help that you are currently enjoying. And if you like the content of this particular video, I would very much appreciate your like for the video at the end. So let's come to the conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. Blood is thicker than water is supposed to drain you of the option of making a judgment. And I would encourage you to make a judgment for each and every one of them. Loyalty is earned. Loyalty is not freely given away. Loyalty is not one-sided. And you had better be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. You will find the video right up there. And I hope you render those judgments, regardless of how uneasy you might feel doing so. I hope you render those judgments without regard for the judged person possibly having the same last name as you have. And be your own hero, be your own heroine. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.